Howdy partners, and welcome to episode 5 of Let's Play Planet Coaster Frontier Adventure here on Theme Park Worldwide. It's Wednesday and it's that time of the week again to continue building this Wild West themed park. Now I just want to say thank you so much for all of your wonderful comments so far on this series. Seems like you're all really enjoying me build this park, and honestly I'm having so much fun put this together. It's really going great, and considering we're only at the start of episode 5, I think the park's looking absolutely fantastic. Now, as you can see, I've just put in a showboat there as well, and that's kind of leading on to what I'm going to be doing throughout this episode. I'm not actually going to be building any rides in episode 5, but what I am going to be doing is a lot of infrastructure work, and starting here on this very large building that is actually going to be a major food court. This will be the area where most people will come to eat during their visits to Frontier Adventure. There's other food options that we've built so far, and there's more going to be coming, but this will be the signature food outlet, the one that everybody wants to go to. We're going to make sure that the views from here are incredible. There's going to be a balcony out the back here looking over the lake that you can see I've just extended out as well, just at the back of course of the Rapids ride. At the moment I'm still calling it the Rapids, but I have got a name for that one that I'm going to be revealing later in the episode as well, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, it's all about infrastructure and building up ready for another major coaster that's going to be coming into this park in episode 6, and of course I look forward to bringing that to you next Wednesday. But yeah, thank you so much for all of your comments on this series so far. It's amazing that you're enjoying it as much as you are. Honestly, hundreds and hundreds of comments coming in each and every week. Some brilliant name and theme suggestions, great ideas for the park, and honestly I think it's my most interactive series so far. You guys seem to be really enjoying it, and honestly with everything going on at the moment, hopefully Wednesdays are like a breath of fresh air, and you know you can look forward to Planet Coaster and Frontier Adventure coming together. Now, I am really pleased with how this park is looking. Of course, we've got 2 major roller coasters installed now, the Gerstlauer Eurofighter and the RMC Hybrid. Along with that, a fantastic Rapids ride, and also as well, starting to get a real nice feel for how this park is going to be now, with these different themed areas, of course, that we've got spanning in a circle now around the lake. So yeah, it is coming together nicely. How many episodes is there going to be in the series? I'm still not 100% sure, but people have been asking me, how big is this park going to be? What sort of size can we expect? But I have touched on this before, but I'll mention it again. It's going to be bigger than Christmas Wonderland, which was my previous series to this, but not the size of something like Atlas Adventure or Volcano Springs. It's going to be nowhere near that size either. It's kind of a mid-range park with this one, but we've still got a long way to go with this. I've still got lots more fantastic ideas, and of course we need some flat rides as well. That's something that I haven't done yet. I don't think there's been another series yet where I'm 5 episodes in and I've not built a flat ride, to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be a big focus of this park still, but they're going to come later on. It's all about first getting in some of these signature rides. In terms of opening this park, I imagine I'm going to be waiting with this one until it's complete before opening it to the public, and then I'm going to do a bit of a documentary style promotional video, kind of similar to what I did for Atlas Adventure. I plan on doing that with this park as well, so that's something for you to look forward to. But yes, the showboats, as this little area is going to be called, it's going to be like a sub area to what I'm going to be building in the next episode. But this is going to be all about food around here. This huge showboat restaurant. There's going to be a bar and restaurant here as well. That's kind of where I'm working here in terms of sorting that footpath out, looking out over the boat itself. And there'd actually be entertainment taking place on the big real boat that you can see there, that of course is anchored up in this area as well. Now, as we're starting to expand the pathways out here, I've decided to change the elevation a little bit as well. As you can see, we've lifted it up. That's so the train can pass under nicely as well. And it also creates a bit of a variety on the landscape, just to make sure it doesn't look too flat. And some of these areas that we're going to be building along the back of this lake here are going to be raised up. Not so much the coaster that I'm going to build in the next episode, but a lot after that is going to be raised up. And I've got plans for another coaster after that that I want to build, and also as well another big water ride that I've got planned for down the back of the park here. So the ideas are flowing out, considering I've only got the one theme to go with this, with it being a Wild West park. There's different variations that I can bring into that. I know we need to do a big area on mining. A lot of people have been suggesting maybe a ghost town area. That's something that I'm considering. An interactive ride using the Wild West sort of shooter. That's the plan to put into this park as well. So there's still a lot more yet to come with this, a lot more yet to come with this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that as it keeps spanning out over the coming couple of months. But here we go. As you can see then, putting in some more of the hashtag Rockwork there, all on the train track underneath, just making sure that that's blocked in at the side. I wanted to make sure that the train was nice and interactive with these areas. So like when you come out of the tunnel there from passing under the rapids, you get a fantastic view all across the lake that we've now built. It's not a huge lake, but it's just a nice sort of area that breaks up quite a ride heavy, intensive themed entrance area, and then it breaks it up nicely, of course, with the rapids and the lake just behind it. And I am pleased with the rapids. A few people seem to think that it was a bit short, but I don't think it's too bad. I mean, and I think it's just a nice length. Yes, it's not the longest rapids out there, but I don't think it's the shortest either. I just wanted it to be a nice length, and yeah, I thought that'd just do for the space as well. It doesn't need to be anything too much, because I've got plans for a big water ride. And when I say a big water ride, I'm talking something pretty awesome that I'm going to be putting in down at the back here at some point in the next few episodes. Maybe next 3 episodes you can expect to see that one come together, I guess. But yeah, the showboat here, the big food venue, is a very complex build, as you can see here. Lots of different walls, floor tiles, the food units are going in. We've got the balconies as well. I didn't just want this to be for show, the balconies. I actually wanted guests in the game to actually be able to get up there and sit on there, and some seating I'm going to put in, looking out over the water, have some cocktails, have some drinks. So that was the plan, to make it look really good. And also at night as well. And that's why I'm bringing in here an S, a H, an O, and then of course making up showboat all the way across, which should be a fantastic piece of signage that sort of you can look across from the rapids and see it there in the distance. This is going to appear on both sides of the building as well, just to add to it and make it feel even more immersive, this area. Like, there's a lot going on, lots to see. Like I say, there'd be a lot of actors walking around this area. There would be in the whole park, to be honest, but especially this area. It's all about dining. It's not so much about rides, but you're going to have the backdrop of another coaster, and I will reveal that coaster that I'm going to be building in episode 6 at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that. You saw a little sneak peek there of how it looks at night. I really want to make sure the lighting all the way around this is great. Lots of festoon lighting, some parkans shining up at the buildings. It's very much designed for in the evening, this area, evening meals, evening dinners, having some drinks at the bars. I'd want this park, with it having more of a thrill aspect to it, to have a bit of nightlife to it, down there. You can maybe have like a DJ who's sort of Wild West themed, up there on the boat, that kind of idea. God, I tell you what, if I owned a real park, it'd be crazy, it'd be wild, I tell you. There'd be so many parties and stuff going on, it'd be amazing. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how exactly this is looking, and it kind of blocks in nicely. I've made sure that the showboat building there is on a bit of an angle. It's not directly straight to the entrance. It's on a bit of an angle, so it all doesn't look too fake. It looks a bit more natural, like things have kind of formed over the years and been built up. These different businesses have come in and built it all up. We're just moving the train line across a little bit there and gonna raise the pathway up a little bit. Again, just to add to the elevation that we're going for, a bit of a higher elevation down here at the back. So you'll see now I actually start to raise up the pathway there. That's actually going to lead us out of the Oatman themed area, of course, where all the oil is, and then we'll cross over the river and the train track, and that'll lead us down into this new area that we're starting here at the back. But like I say, the showboat itself is more of a part of a sub area to what we're going to be building, because we're really going to change the building style up for this next area that's going to be coming into this. So I look forward to that. And yeah, we're at the point now where both of these paths are pretty much connected up. Here we go, the magic moment, and boom, they're connected. So you can now walk around in a circle. That's something that I find really important, actually, especially at bigger parks. It's nice when you can actually walk around like a main path in a bit of a circle, not a direct circle, if you know what I mean, but a flowing path, what you don't have to keep going back and forwards on. That's what I really like, actually, with the layout of Portaventura, and also the Disney parks as well. But Portaventura do it really well. They've got like a main path that spans through all the areas. I mean, over the past few years, they've added Sesamo Aventura and Shambhala. They've kind of expanded on that path and put little ones in, but they've still got that signature path. You can walk just in a big circle all the way around Portaventura, and it'll take you through all the different areas, and I really like that, and I kind of wanted to bring that in here with Frontier Adventure, as much as the park's going to span off this circle a little bit, just to be able to walk around, see them different rides and experiences, the two big coasters, the rapids. It all just came together nicely with the pathway running around. Talking of coming together nicely, got the lights going on here. Can you imagine just sitting on that balcony looking out over all the different rides, the RMC roaring round over towards the entrance? You might just hear the gunshots of some of the cowboys down there performing a bit of a show down at the entrance. It would be a very immersive park, this, and I'm imagining maybe a pianist sort of playing up here on an evening on the actual boat, what's next to this restaurant that we're putting in here. Like a pianist on there, just kind of a bit of a classier cocktail bar vibe all the way around there. And then of course later in the evening it can turn more into a dance floor. Maybe can you imagine the boat as a bit of I'd say a nightclub, but more of a classy nightclub for a theme park on there. Would be awesome, wouldn't it? Like ID checks to get onto the boat. Can you imagine? Yeah, if you're not 18, no entry onto the boat. But yeah, you know, all that sort of stuff. Or even better, if it was real, you could have a bit of a boat party on there, and it could actually go out into the middle of the lake. Can you imagine that? Blimey, my head is running round with ideas. I tell you what, I need to win Euro Millions on Friday, and then maybe some of these ideas can come to fruition. But yeah, I'm putting nice lighting here on the boat. I'm getting a bit distracted now. I've got all these ideas running around in my head. I'm putting these nice festoon lights on there just so it's lit up good at night. Oh, look at that. Nice, isn't it? All the way across. I absolutely love the lighting, what Disneyland Paris have, and well, all the Disney parks that have got one, but on their big steamboats that can be found. I really like the lighting, what they put on them. But at Disneyland Paris, it just is always lit up nicely on an evening, and it just looks lovely parked up in Frontierland with the backdrop of Big Thunder Mountain and Phantom Manor as well. And talking of Big Thunder Mountain, actually, it leads me on to think we're going to need some sort of family coaster here, because like I say, as much as there's a lot of big thrill rides going in, I still want stuff to appeal for absolutely everyone here. So I think, you know, we're going to have to put some sort of family coaster in. I'm not going to do a rip-off Big Thunder Mountain, but something, you know, of that sort of caliber, in terms of we need a family coaster what's, you know, mid-range like that, no inversions and not too big of drops and stuff. So we'll probably look at putting that in at some point. When I come out with all these ideas, it makes me think, blimey, this part's getting bigger and bigger, to be honest. But I think for halfway into episode 5, really accomplished quite a lot actually with this. I'm very pleased. I didn't think I'd be quite at this stage yet, and I didn't really have much of a master plan for this. I've just kind of gone with the flow really for this park, but I'm very pleased that it's coming together. You can see I'm adding some more theming onto the actual boat itself, and now I'm working on the lakeside cocktail bar what's going in just here. So you're going to get a fantastic view across the lake. So we're going to call this maybe Lakeside, Lake View, something along those lines, and then of course you'll have a nice view looking out. Of course, I've put a lot of signage in with names of buildings and on rides and stuff, but all that can be changed before the park opens. I know there's been a few spelling mistakes and stuff, and a few dates that need changing on things, but yeah, that's all going to come before the park opens. I'm not really worrying too much about what's on the signage at the moment. I'm more wanting to put the signage in place, and then as you guys are coming up with your fantastic names and storylines, I can adapt the signage all the way around that. But yeah, this would be a nice area. We've got a nice little seating area going out the front here, so we're putting in them wooden panels, and then you'll be able to sit down there. We'll put some sort of spring possibly in the middle there. I'm thinking a couple of like water fountains coming out, gushing out of that middle section of the pathway. And then, of course, you've got a nice look over to the actual showboat there that the restaurant is, of course, named after. But let's have a bit of a throwback then to last week's episode. I asked you all to name the wonderful rapids ride that I built, and I've picked a name. Once again, there's literally been hundreds and hundreds of comments. Thank you so much to everyone that just comes up with these names and ideas and just takes the time to comment. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I spend a good few hours now every week going through all of these different names. Well, the good news is you can have a week off from coming up with name suggestions, because like I say, I'm not building any rides in this episode, so you can have a week off and get yourself built up for a pretty big ride that I'm going to be building in the next episode, but more about that shortly. Firstly, let's talk about the name that I have picked for the rapids. So once again, a big thank you to everyone that has commented with your names and storylines. Honestly, you're amazing, you really are, and I love them. But there's one that I really liked from Samuel Holt, so a big shout out to you, and this is the Crimson Canyon Adventure. So yes, I'm loving the name for that. Of course, the canyon fitting with all of the rock work that I've done around there, and the bit of a mountainous terrain that I've created. So yes, the Crimson Canyon Adventure. Let me read the story thanks to Samuel. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crimson Canyon. Here we have invented the steam wagon engine boat. It's a raft that can navigate through twists and turns that can be found throughout the canyon. If anything, this ride is perfectly safe. Let's just hope there isn't any waterfalls. Well, of course, we know that there is some, Samuel, on this, and you knew that too. But the guests are going to get absolutely soaked on this. So thanks for that absolutely fantastic name suggestion, Samuel. And yeah, it's the Crimson Canyon Adventure that fits in wonderfully to Frontier Adventure. So thank you very much for coming up with that. I really do like it. It's a great family water ride with some great theming. Yeah, it's a little bit on the short side, but it fits in exactly how I wanted. I didn't really want it to be any bigger, especially knowing that we're going to have another large water ride coming into the park later. But no, cheers to that one, Samuel. Really do appreciate it. Like I say, you can all have a week off with coming up with names. However, if you've got any more suggestions for this park, whether ride types, what you'd like to see me put in, coaster types, honestly, get your suggestions coming in. I read all the comments, so it's always nice to see what you guys are coming up with, because as much as I am pretty creative, I like to think, you guys are amazing at coming up with different ideas, and you might pick up on things that I wouldn't think of, you know. So that was certainly the case with past projects, so I'm sure it'll be the same with this as well. So get them comments coming in for just any different ideas that you want to sort of pass on to me and that I can think about for future episodes in this series. Oh, that balcony's coming on nice, isn't it, there on the lake view? Of course, that's a nice bar. I mentioned there'll be a big premium cocktail list in there. Love a good cocktail when I go to a theme park, more on an evening like at Europa Park or Portaventura in the bars. It's nice, isn't it, just to sit down, have a relax after the park's closed. That's a big part of it for me. I really like that, a themed bar experience, and I wanted one inside the park with this here. I thought it would work beautifully just inside this area, with it all being about food and lots of different options. This area was kind of inspired by a food area that they've got in Disney California Adventure, actually, over in Anaheim, California. Great area that I like. It's not particularly Wild West themed, but it's just a nice area with lots of food options, lots of seating, and little balconies and stuff. So that's kind of what inspired me with putting in this area here, and it just blocks it in nice. I didn't want to go straight away and with another big coaster there. I think it would have looked too much on the landscape. Coaster on the left, coaster on the right, coaster at the back there, too close. It would have looked a bit too much. So like I say, a coaster's going in, but it's going behind this pathway that you can see here now. This is just a kind of nice sort of filler area that breaks off nicely, and it's the last sort of buildings that I'm going to do for now that are going to sort of fit in with everything I've done so far. I didn't want to sort of have it very different across the lake. I wanted the buildings to have the same colour schemes and fit in nicely before moving on to a very different style of building that we're going to be doing shortly. I actually decided to extend these wooden poles along here just because I wanted to put some more festoons on. I hadn't planned to originally, but as this idea of it becoming more of a night area, you know, not medieval nights, actual evenings. That was a bad joke, wasn't it? But yeah, you know, that was my plan with this, to make it more of an evening area. So I thought, let's put more lighting in. This could possibly even be open on an evening without rides, like later into the evening, you know, and guests can then just stroll back to the entrance, you know, to make their way home. Not drink driving, of course, got to be safe. But yeah, you know, that sort of idea. They could designate a driver, couldn't they? And then the rest can enjoy the wonderfully themed cocktails on offer here at the Lakeview. Well, there you go. All the signage is going in across the top. What else we got in there? We got food. We got some beers. What else could we have in there? I reckon we could have some spirits as well inside there. So there we go. All sorts available at the bar. Done a lot of talking about bars and alcohol, haven't I, during this episode? But there you go. It has been about food. We've got lots of great food options and drink options all available in this area. And I think we needed this because there's not been loads so far in this park in terms of eateries. So I thought that'd fit in really nicely. But yeah, we're coming towards the end of episode 5, and I'm really chuffed with how this is coming together. And as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments, along with any further suggestions that you want to make for the park. But like I say, I have got a good few ideas, but it's always nice to have some more coming in. Let me talk about what I'm going to build then in the next episode. So what I'm going to be doing is a B&M coaster, and I'm going to actually build something that I've not yet actually built in Planet Coaster in a series. I have built one of these off camera a few years ago, but I've never done one in a park of mine. Not a big thrilling B&M invert, so that's what is going to be coming in. So yeah, hopefully you're something for you to look forward to in the future, and that's going to be coming, of course, next Wednesday here on Theme Park Worldwide with episode 6 of Frontier Adventure. So stay tuned for that. B&M invert is coming in, and I've got some ideas for the theme, but I'm going to need a storyline and also as well your fantastic name suggestions for that. It's going to be a big ride that's going to sit just kind of behind the showboat and kind of off to the left of all of that there, where the pathway sort of comes in a little bit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and that's coming next Wednesday here on the channel. Along with that as well, of course, there's new videos every single day for you to enjoy. Yesterday I did a video ranking all of the Disney parks in the world. I've been to all 12 Disney parks across the 6 different resorts all around the world. Really lucky to have done those, but I decided to do a video ranking them all against each other with based on the quality of the attractions and shows and that sort of thing. So that's worth checking out. And like I say, there's news updates, more information on Blackpool Central, new indoor theme park. Along with that, the London resorts had an update. Lightwater Valley's been a big talking point this week with ride closures and some new additions. So yeah, there's been a lot going on, and that's going to set to continue every single day. There's something brand new for you to enjoy on Theme Park Worldwide. And I like to think that the content so far this year has been really strong, probably the strongest start to a year ever. I've really made sure that there's something out there for you to enjoy every single day. So thank you so much as always for your support. Just working on this little bridge just here now. It's going to pass over from the Oatman area over towards this new themed area that I'm going to be working on in episode 6. Just a nice wooden bridge, just make it fit in better there with the crossing over of the railroad and the water there, with having the river down below. Thought a nice wooden bridge would kind of fit in nicely. I might put some more details on that at a later date, but for now I was pretty pleased really with how that was coming together. But there we go, a nice screenshot there of the park and how it's looking. Thank you for joining me here in episode 5 of Let's Play Planet Coaster Frontier Adventure here on Theme Park Worldwide, and I'll be back next Wednesday with another action-packed episode and building a B&M invert. That leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you next week.